Real Madrid are ready to drop £90 million on a Premier League star. Desperate move or a game-changing power play? Jürgen Klopp is coming back, but where is he headed? And what is he really planning? Arsenal are going all in. Could Gyökeres be their blockbuster signing of the summer? And Chelsea just can't sit still. £40 million for a new keeper. Brilliant decision or yet another blue-tinted disaster? All this and so much more in today's episode. Guys, if you want to see us again tomorrow, let's smash 300 likes today. Your support is like Chelsea's transfer budget, bottomless and absolutely essential. Already hit it? Then let's go. Alright lads, let's talk Victor Gyökeres, because this guy is tearing Portugal to shreds right now. Sporting Lisbon paid just €24 million for him, and honestly, it's looking like daylight robbery. 85 goals in 92 games. Those numbers are absolutely insane. If that's not red-hot form, then what is? And now, Arsenal have locked their sights on him. According to David Ornstein, Arteta's a big fan. And Andrea Berta, who just joined the club, is already sold. This move could actually happen. Sure, Transfermarkt rates him at €75 million, but don't forget, he's got a €100 million release clause. Luckily, Sporting are open to negotiating. Because let's be real, €100 million for Gyökeres? That feels more inflated than my Sunday league mate's ego after a tap-in and a dodgy assist. And Arsenal need a killer up front. No shade to Gabriel Jesus, but his consistency is shakier than Tottenham's trophy cabinet. But here's the big question. Is Gyökeres really the answer? Should Arsenal go all in or keep chasing Isak? Newcastle aren't budging, Šeško might be too raw, so maybe Gyökeres actually makes sense. But hold up a second, are we all forgetting that this same Gyökeres flopped harder than a pancake at Brighton? Loan after loan, St. Pauli, Swansea, Coventry, before finally exploding in Portugal. So, Arsenal fans, are you comfortable betting your title dreams on a guy who's only just hit his stride? Because this move, it's either genius or a €75 million disaster. Personally, I'd roll the dice. He's strong, clinical, confident, and exactly the kind of statement signing Arsenal need. Picture him banging in goals at the Emirates, rocking that iconic number 9 shirt. Could he be the man to finally bring the Premier League title back to North London? Come on, Arsenal, don't bottle this. Make the move. Show us you're serious. You hearing this coming out of Catalonia? Barcelona, yeah, that Barcelona, the one pulling financial levers like it's a magic show, are about to lock down two key renewals back-to-back. Robert Lewandowski and Wojciech Szczesny. Yep, absolute madness. Let's break this down. First up, Louis. Reports say it's basically done. Extension potentially until 2026. And look, nobody's questioning the guy's goal-scoring record. He's a machine, no doubt. But let's be real, he'll be pushing 38 by the end of that deal. Are we really sure this is the best long-term call? Especially when Barca's finances are shakier than a fullback trying to stop Vinicius Jr. one-on-one? Seriously, what's the big picture plan here? But wait, it gets juicier. Apparently, Louis sticking around played a major role in convincing Szczesny to stay too. Remember Wojciech, the emergency signing from October? Yeah, the 34-year-old who's gone unbeaten in 17 games since his debut. Not a single loss. He's gone from short-term patch to Flick's go-to guy in goal. And now? Romano's saying it's 99% done. Verbal agreement locked in, according to Polish sources. And honestly, Szczesny's deal feels like a no-brainer right now. Guy's been a brick wall back there. Solid, experienced, and clearly thriving in this system. So now, Barca are locking down two Polish internationals, both potentially leaving in 2026. Is this smart, strategic squad planning, or just kicking the rebuild can down the road? Because yeah, Szczesny makes total sense. Will this finally put an end to the transfer chaos around Barca this summer, or is it just the calm before another storm? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story, it's far from over. Jürgen Klopp at Real Madrid? I know, it sounds absolutely mental, like straight-up fantasy football. But hold up, this might actually have legs. Here's the scoop. Carlo Ancelotti, the Don himself, might be calling it a day at the Bernabeu. 4 strong years in his second stint, but now he could be off to Brazil. Yep, after that brutal 4-1 hammering by Argentina, the Seleção want Don Carlo to clean up the mess. Brazil sacking managers faster than Chelsea, I swear. So if Ancelotti bounces, that leaves a massive gap on the Madrid bench. Enter the wildest twist yet, Jürgen Klopp. Now yeah, we all thought it'd be Xabi Alonso, right? Golden boy. tearing it up at Leverkusen, former Madrid player. Obvious choice, but nope. Word is some big dogs at Madrid are now seriously talking Klopp behind closed doors. And honestly, it makes sense. Big game experience? Check. Knows how to manage egos? Check. Can develop wonder kids and compete for trophies? That's literally Klopp's specialty. This man turned Dortmund into a beast, dragged Liverpool back to the top, and brought chaos, charisma, and Champions Leagues. But wait, it gets crazier. If Madrid falls through, guess who else is sniffing around? The USMNT. Yeah, the USA. Word is, Pochettino isn't exactly thriving over there. Surprise, and now Uncle Sam wants Klopp to take over? Klopp on the Stars and Stripes sideline? Push back to Spurs? This managerial merry-go-round is off the rails. And let's not forget, Klopp's supposed to be on sabbatical. Chilling, recharging, doing that whole Red Bull advisory role. But imagine, his break ends with him managing Real Madrid? Only Jürgen freaking Klopp could pull that off. So, what do you reckon? Klopp bringing gegenpressing madness to La Liga? Imagine the scenes. Or is he about to go full Hollywood and rock up stateside? Let me know what you think in the comments. Madrid, USA, or somewhere even crazier. Let's talk Mohamed Kudus, because this transfer buzz is getting wild. Graham Bailey just dropped a report saying Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs and Villa are all balking at his release clause. And yeah, can you blame them? £85 million? Look, Kudus is quality, no doubt, but that's serious money. West Ham, are you trying to sneak him out the door like he's prime Messi after one standout season? Don't get me wrong. Gyökeres has been immense, plays across the front line, scores screamers, works hard off the ball, only 24, tons of upside. But £85 million, that's steep. Feels like West Ham slapped on that price tag with one hand while Googling how to trigger a bidding war with the other. Let's talk the clubs in the mix. Arsenal? Needs squad depth, someone who can cover Saka or Martinelli without the drop-off being painful to watch. Liverpool, if Salah leaves and Nunez keeps being Nunez, Kudus makes a lot of sense. Spurs, if Richarlison or Werner bounce, you're gonna need firepower. Even Villa, with all that weight on Watkins' shoulders, Kudus could take them up another level. But here's the twist. Guess who's lurking? Manchester City. Of course they are, hoovering up talent like a Dyson on turbo mode. And yep, you guessed it, Saudi interest too. Standard these days. So what now? Will West Ham stick to their £85 million guns or blink and settle for something closer to £50 to £60 million? Because let's be honest, that number feels inflated even in this market. And you just know Kudus is thinking Champions League, trophies, big nights under the lights, get me out of here. My prediction? Somebody caves. If Salah leaves, I'd put money on Liverpool pulling the trigger. But this £85 million standoff, it's starting to feel like a transfer window Mexican standoff. What do you think? Who breaks first? Where does Kudus land? Let me know down below, and hey, if you're enjoying the madness, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Wait, Nasser Al-Khelaifi wants to run FIFA now? Bro, we're talking about the same guy who's been treating PSG like a football manager save on chaos mode. And now he wants to be the king of world football? You've got to be kidding. So here's the deal. Apparently, Nasser's not satisfied with owning half of Paris and flirting with buying Malaga. Nope. Man's playing the long game. According to RMC Sport, he's got his eyes on the big chair at FIFA. Yep, he's aiming to replace Gianni Infantino. And not in 2040 or something. We're talking 2027 elections. That's 2 seasons away. Now look, I get it. The guy's got credentials. He's the chairman of Qatar Sports Investments, runs PSG, controls beIN Sports, sits on UEFA's executive committee, and leads the European Club Association. Like, mate, leave some power for the rest of us. But here's where it gets shady. beIN Sports alone funnels hundreds of millions into UEFA. You don't think that kind of influence could tilt the scales just a bit? A friendly Champions League draw here, a suspicious VAR call there? This isn't football, it's Game of Thrones with extra sponsorship logos. And let's talk PSG for a second. How many rebuilds have we seen? 3? 4? I've lost count. First it was Neymar and Mbappe with the Galacticos 2.0 project. Now it's all about youth, vibes, and Luis Enrique trying to teach structure to freestyle merchants. And the results? 0 Champions Leagues. 11 of the highest paid players in League One, and they still get outplayed by teams with half the budget and none of the drama. And this is the guy who wants to lead FIFA? Oh, and one more thing. He's currently under investigation in France for kidnapping and torture. No biggie, just your regular presidential candidate resume, right? Look, I'm not saying Gianni Infantino has been some footballing messiah, far from it, but swapping him for Nasser, that's like subbing off a donkey and bringing on a giraffe. Different shape, same circus. So here's the real question. Is this power move just laughable, or is it something we should actually be worried about? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you thought PSG's transfer window was wild, just imagine what Nasser would do with the entire world's football budget. Because trust me, this story, it's only just getting started. Guys, be honest. Does Chelsea even know what they're doing? Or is this just another round of transfer roulette like, hey, maybe this one works out? Because this summer, word is the Blues are planning to drop 40 million euros on Mike Maignan. Yeah, that Maignan, the guy who not too long ago was being hyped as the next world-class keeper. On paper, sounds like a smart move. But hold on, not so fast. Things at AC Milan are kind of a mess right now. They're sitting 9th in the table, and if they miss out on the Champions League again, they could lose a bunch of top players, including Maignan. His contract runs until 2026, but it feels like he's already halfway out the door. Still hasn't signed a new deal. Just waiting to see how the season plays out. And honestly, can you blame him? You wouldn't rush into anything either if your club was wobbling like this. But you know what really caught me off guard? Aston Villa. Like, seriously? You've got Emi Martinez, World Cup winner, week in, week out lifesaver, and now you're sniffing around Maignan too? What's Unai Emery up to here? A keeper showdown on the bench to see who blinks first? Oh, and let's not forget Manchester United. They're lurking. If Onana keeps dropping stinkers, they won't hesitate to bench him. And then it's, hey Mike, welcome to Old Trafford. Classic United panic button move. But let's get real. A move to Chelsea? That could either be a clean reset for Maignan or just another trip into a dressing room disaster zone. Because let's face it, that place has chewed up and spat out more talent than we can count. So here's the big question. If you were Maignan, what would you do? Take the 40 million euro ticket to London, maybe ride the bench, deal with the chaos, or stick with Milan and try to save a sinking ship. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because honestly, I don't see how this plays out cleanly. And hey, if this goalkeeper carousel is driving you as crazy as it's driving me, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's ride out this madness together. Look guys, let's be real. Bruno Fernandes has been carrying Manchester United on his back ever since he landed from Sporting Lisbon in 2020. We're talking 177 goal contributions in 277 games. Is this guy even human? And now, Real Madrid want him to be the heir to Luka Modric. I mean, sure, Modric is 39, probably running on fumes and muscle memory at this point. But £90 million for Bruno. United fans, are you really ready to see your captain walk away? I get it. Madrid sees the vision. Bruno's a baller. Number 10, deep-lying playmaker, emergency striker. Dude's basically a Swiss army knife in football boots. But what about United? Take Bruno out of that team and what's left? A midfield black hole and a handful of cash. And we know how United spends money. Like it's Monopoly cash, ending up with flops. Alexis Sanchez, anyone? Sir Jim Ratcliffe keeps shouting from the rooftops how vital Bruno is to United's future, but Madrid scouts are showing up every weekend like it's a Netflix scouting documentary. By the way, if you're into these kinds of transfer bombs and want to stay ahead of the curve, scan the QR code on the screen or hit the link to check out the latest football transfer stories on our website. We're dropping updates daily, and some of them, let's just say, they'll blow your mind. So what's the actual plan here? Are United seriously thinking of letting their captain go? If this transfer goes through, Madrid grabs a ready-made midfield magician, perfect Modric replacement. But for United, man, unless they've got a Ferguson-level rebuild waiting in the wings, this could send them straight back into football limbo. So here's the real question. Does Bruno become the next Madrid legend or United's biggest regret since, well, letting Ronaldo leave?